All right, guys. This year, I'm going to try and reach 6-digit subscriber count, 100,000. Y'all know what's up. But if you look on screen, 80% of you guys aren't even following me. So let's try and make that happen. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the content I'm producing. I'm going to try and produce much more content this year than I did last year, and I'm going to try and make it a good year. And let's get right into the video you guys wanted. Hello, team. Welcome to How to Mag What the fuck? Welcome to How to Mag in Football Fusion. All right. Today I'm going to be giving you guys all the tips and tricks you will need in order to mag the Roblox football in this lovely game called Football Fusion. But, you know, I'm not here to waste your time. I got places to be, and I bet you do too. So let's get right into the tips I have for y'all. And then we'll analyze some different types of mags that I recorded. Alright, guys. Tip number 1. Latency and ping are a really big deal. Latency and ping play a huge role in your ability to mag. If you've ever seen me play, you'll know I can catch the ball at any time it's thrown to me because I am very rare, have really good and low ping. If you don't know how ping works, basically the lower your ping is, the less latency you'll have. I usually run around 25 ms, which means it takes the server and your device 25 milliseconds to communicate and see the movements and stuff that I do. If I had 150 ms, it would take the server longer to recognize what I'm doing because the communication is taking 7 times longer. If you aren't sure where to find your ping, tap or click the Roblox symbol in the top left when you're in a Roblox game, press the settings, scroll till you see performance stats, and turn them on. Once you click out of the menu, you'll be able to see in the top right, you'll be able to see your ping and all your performance stats. Knowing what your ping is will allow you to accurately judge when you should be timing certain things. With this being said, the next step might be even more important than this one. Tip number 2. Learn your timing. I know this one might seem quite obvious, but it's extremely important to know your timing when it comes to jumping and diving. A lot of people I see mistime their jumps or dives, and it causes them to drop a touchdown or some sort of pass which could have been caught if they knew what their timing was. I mean, I really can't give y'all much information on this one, but because it's really just practicing and screwing around and finding out a way to consistently catch on your regular ping. So, getting those practice servers, getting those private servers, hit up some pickups or whatever. I don't know, man, just learn your timing. I mean, it will go a long way. Tip number 3. Ace diving or jumping. Some of you guys might not know what an ace jump or dive is. An ace jump or dive is when you jump basically like 2 feet off the floor. You jump lower than normal and face plant into the floor. It happens sometimes, and there are ways to make it happen less. But usually an ace dive occurs when you jump and dive right after you press spacebar. Which doesn't give your character enough time to jump at its highest peak and causes you to just basically faceplant into the floor because you didn't give your character time to even get up. But I would recommend trying to space it out a little bit more if you think that could be an issue. But if you're entirely convinced that it is not a you issue and it is just the game screwing you, then I would look into FPS and graphics. Yes, I know this is the only game in Roblox football we're having higher graphics and higher FPS actually makes you play worse. But with that being said, the best FPS to play on as a receiver is either 60 or 75 FPS. I mean, it's really your preference. I play on 60 just because that's what I was told to do and what I've come to practice playing on. But when it comes to graphics, just remember, the lower your graphics are, the higher you jump. I play on 10 graphics because I don't want to sacrifice video quality for higher jumps. But, I mean, you guys probably don't have to worry about that unless you're a YouTuber of some sort. So, hey man, play on whatever graphics makes you happy. But keep in mind that the lower they are, the higher you'll jump and the less you'll ace dive. Although, that's the end of my tips that I could think of on the spot. Before we move on to the analytical gameplay, make sure you go down to the comments section. If there's anything I didn't cover regarding diving, jumping, anything of this matter, like magging, if there's anything I didn't explain, go down to the comments and ask away, and I'll answer them in the comments if I know the answer. Other than that, if there's any other suggestions for any other tutorial videos I should give in the future, leave those down below too. But let's get into some analytics. In order to maximize what you guys get out of this video, I've decided to include one mag of each type. There's 2 deep mags, one being a bullet dime and one being a massive lob dime, and 2 short mags, one being a bullet and the other being a lob. So there are 4 different types of mags that you're going to see in this video that we're going to analyze, and I'm going to teach you guys the secret to hopefully helping you guys catch them in the future if you've been dropping them. But yeah, let's get into it. I mean, yes, this was a pretty decent catch, but obviously we can't look at it like this. We gotta look into it further. Obviously, the best way to look into it further is slowing it down. And you can actually notice quite a few things when I do slow it down and what I do in order to catch this, considering how fast it's coming. Well, obviously it's easy for me to say that I realize a bunch of stuff that you guys don't. So, I mean, obviously let's look into it. I froze this image and the clip exactly where I started to jump. And as you can see, the ball isn't even over the CB's head yet, let alone mine, and I've already started jumping. Why is that? It's because the first tip I gave you guys plays into a factor here. Although I play on low ping, the ball is getting to me much quicker than it seems. So if I jump any later, I'm not catching the ball. So this is where learning your timing and knowing what your ping are come into huge accounts. I mean, you can see how early I started to jump because you have to account for the time it takes to get to the peak of your jump. And then you also have to account the time it takes for the ball to reach to where it needs to be over your character. You see, if I jump early, I mean, maybe I catch it, but I mean, obviously you don't want to just maybe catch it. You want to make sure you're going to catch it. So make sure you learn your timing. I mean, I would practice all 4 of these types of mags. Catch number 2, considering the first one was going to be a short mag bullet, this one is going to be a short mag lob. These ones are, I don't know if I'd say easier or harder, but I mean, a mag is a mag. So once again, here is a clip that we are starting with. It is a pretty simple mag dime from a short distance away. More like a medium distance, but it's a mag dime. You get it. Just like the previous one, let's look at it a little bit slower. As you can see, there's a bit of change this time around, considering that it is a different type of pass. With that being said, I'll slow down the topics that I think we should focus on. Like I said, guys, the first couple, the tips I gave you guys at the start are really what's going to mold you being able to mag. But if you were to look at it for a lob dime kind of way, our timing did change a little bit. As you could see from the bullet dime, you had to jump a little bit earlier than usual because it was coming faster, because you had to account for the time it was going to travel to get to where you are and the time it was going to take for you to jump. Now you have to account for the ball having more lob under it and obviously going to be taking a longer amount of time to get towards you. So you have to wait a little bit longer to jump this time around, which is where you learn your timing by practicing. I mean, literally magging is all about practice. You can say you can't do it, but as long as you listen to the tips, you will do it as long as you are practicing and getting better at it. I mean, I didn't start off as the best player of all time or the best magger of all time or anything like that. I started off as a random public guy that enjoyed the game. So, I mean, I've been playing this game and its previous variations for a couple of years now, so it'd be kind of sad if I didn't know what I was doing. But yeah, all I'm saying is practice, guys. Literally just practice your timing. I'm going to make these last 2 catches shorter so I don't keep wasting your time. Because as you can see, I just keep pointing out my jump timing. And that's something I really can't teach you because you have to figure out your jump timing. So catch number 3 is going to be a deeper bullet mag. Alright, guys. I mean, this is basically the same as the first bullet mag, except it has a little bit more lob under the ball, and it's deeper, obviously. But, I mean, if we're being honest, not really much changes, because it's all about your timing and latency. So, yeah. As we can tell from the slowed down copy of the catch, I mean, the basics are still there of what I taught you. I know it's deeper, might be a little bit harder to time. I can say I do drop these sometimes when I'm not warmed up. But when I'm warmed up, aka when I practice, I'm perfectly fine. At this point, I don't even think it's going to be a mystery of what point I'm going to pause at, and it's obviously the point of where I jump. At this frame is when I started to jump. If you compare it with the first bullet mag, you can see I did jump a little bit later, although they are both bullets, but that has to do with the distance. A short bullet pass is obviously going to take less time to get to you, and it's probably not going to have as much lob. You can't really throw a straight bullet pass 100 yards down the field and put no lob under it. So, I mean, all of these passes are different in their own ways when it comes to timing, but they all come back to the same principle, which is timing. So, I'm just going to keep repeating myself at this point. I mean, you can click off and just go practice, but I'm telling you, once you learn your timing and you know your ping and how you have to time your jump, you will start magging the ball. I mean, it's definitely easier to mag on lower ping, but magging on higher ping can happen easily if you know your timing. Because as long as you know your timing, you have the same chance as catching it as someone with low ping like I do. The fourth and final catch of this video will be a deep lob mag. I know you guys probably think this is a waste of time, and honestly, it really might be. But, I mean, I guess it's good to see examples of when I jump on certain passes. Because I wouldn't be showing these 4 passes if there weren't different timings on all of them. If they all had the same timing, you would have only saw one. But they all have different timings. And that's where you guys have to realize, although I'm only showing 4, I didn't account for, like, the fold passes or the middle of the field passes or anything like that. I didn't account for any of those passes. But you have to realize all of these tie-up passes, and it depends on where they are in the field. If it's a crossbody throw, if it's a straight body throw, if it's a crossbody fold, if it's a crossbody check down even. Like, it's all about your timing, and that's where practice will come in, because you have to practice your timing on every single type of catch. And I'm not saying you have to go on a private server and sit there and catch every single type of pass. If you're new to the game or you're just getting used to the game, it will come with experience. I wasn't good at catching the ball when I started, but I've been playing for so long that I've learned to catch every type of pass that's thrown my way. So you'll learn too. Although it's rare, some QBs do throw ridiculously high arcing passes. Like you guys know from my LFG series, my friend Calvin, he threw a bunch of ridiculously high arcing passes. So, I mean, I guess it's still good to see an example of catching one of these super, super high arcing passes. I mean, they are hard to time, if I'm being honest. When it comes to practicing, we should probably slow this one down the most and talk about this one the most, because this is easily the easiest one to mess up. Because the window on a lob dime is so small to catch. Like, you can catch a bullet dime easier than a lob dime, but mag lob dimes are so hard to catch, and you have to it takes a lot of precision is what I'm saying. I paused it again at the moment where I jump off the floor, and that's because you're gonna notice I actually jump earlier than I jump earlier than the deep bullet mag, and I also jump earlier than the short lob mag, and that's because you have to account for power in the situation. In the 65 power lob mag, short one, the ball isn't moving very fast. It's basically a lob pass. This one, the ball is moving at 95 power rather than 65, and takes a lot of precision. So, I mean, like I said, guys, I can only do so much. I mean, I'm okay at the game. I'm not going to say I'm the greatest ever, but I'm pretty good at the game. But I can give you guys tips that will allow you to get better, but I can't magically make you better. So all of this will come with time and practice as long as you put the effort in. And with that being said, I mean, I don't really have much else I can say for y'all, bro. Remember, leave in the comments any tutorials on any other things you'll need. I know I said this is a magging tutorial, but it's basically just me giving you tips on how to get better at it. If you want other tutorials on stuff like league zones, anything about leagues, I can make a really in-depth tutorial about those. Because I know what I'm doing in that aspect. Like, those are things that are teachable. You know, this is really just tell y'all how to fix your problems and hope you do them. But yeah, that being said, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And peace out, everybody.